Add a title. Okay, let's see if on Zoom it is. Yeah, we are live. Okay. What's up, guys? Tonight we are going to be going over how to create repeat customers and repeat business so that your business doesn't run out of business. Isn't that right, Feldon?
That's right.
Sweet. So we're going to let a couple of people hop on. I need to actually see who's hopping on here. That way I can see who's commenting. Comments are going to be the thing is going to be a little bit delayed, guys, because of Facebook Live, and we're doing it through Zoom. So if we don't answer your question right away, it's okay, because we will answer it. And if I don't, then I'll just message you. All right, let me find the live, see who's hopping on. These lives used to tell me who was, oh, wow, we got 6 people on already.
Yeah, it's packed house.
Packed house, let's do it. All right, if you are on tonight, I want you to type live below in the comments. That way we know who's on. We cannot see who is on. So type live in the comments below, and let's crush it. We got Alex Trejo on, Derek Hawkins, quite 9 people on. Scott is on. What's up, Alex? Alex, the man with the flipper bill of sale.
Yes.
Shout out right there.
Because we will answer it. And if I don't,
Willie, Derek, Feldon is watching. Pete is on. Oh yeah, we got it stacking up tonight. It's good stuff. Glad to see it. All right, if you guys are excited for a really good live tonight, this is the first time I've ever done a live with somebody else, so I'm super excited. You guys get to actually see somebody else's point of view. One of the top guys coming up in the industry for sure. When it comes to definitely repairs, he is also one of the loudest people on social media. That is for sure. If you catch his posts after midnight, they get kind of weird. Not gonna lie, but that engagement though, right? Alex says, "What are we talking about tonight? What are we talking about tonight, Feldon?"
We're talking about how to generate leads for your business and get repeat customers.
Sweet. Okay. So, and if you guys have any questions throughout this live, you can go ahead and just drop them in the comments below, and we will get to them. No issue there. So we're just going to go ahead and start talking. So, Feldon, how during COVID-19, you're in New York, but you're still doing business, right?
Absolutely.
So how are you generating repeat customers during this wild time, especially in New York?
So the number one thing for me that I'm utilizing to get repeat customers is, I would say, word of mouth. That's the number one thing. Like of course I get referrals from the people that have bought from me before, or that, I've bought from before. So they give me referrals. Additionally, I use Facebook ads. I use Google ads. And as you guys know, Craigslist king over here. I use Craigslist. So that's how I get my business.
You're also known as the scam buster.
Yeah,
I talk about that a little bit real quick.
So yeah, I catch a lot of scammers on eBay. I've been scammed a lot on eBay, believe it or not, and I've won most of my cases. I've learned over the last couple of years a lot of the rules that eBay has in favor of us, and also the rules that eBay has against us. So kind of using those rules in my favor and making them work against the scammers pretty much 90% of the time.
Let's talk about that real quick. I know there are scammers on eBay, but at the same time, there's a lot of good people on eBay that you probably sell to, right?
Yes.
And a lot of those probably become repeat customers.
Yes.
Somewhere down the road. Is that right?
Yes.
Nice. Okay, cool. So how do you go about cultivating that type of relationship? Because, with eBay, if you get caught sending, contact information, they kind of throw up a red flag, ban you, etc.
So what we do is we like to include a business card in every package that we send to customers. And we also like to make sure that we go above and beyond. So if I'm selling a phone, you're not just buying a phone from me. You're going to get a charger. You're going to get a screen protector. You're going to get a case. And this stuff is cheap. Like you can get all of this stuff really cheap and customers love it. So it'll increase the amount of times that people actually leave feedback. I also like to put in my description how people can stay up to date when when I get new products. And I ask people to subscribe to my eBay store so that they can get, what happens is if you get a subscriber to your eBay store, they get an email sent out. Now, for whatever reason, a lot of people don't seem to subscribe. That's fine. What we do is we write down the customer information from PayPal, their name, their email address, and their phone number sometimes is attached, so that throughout the year, and this is something new that we started, but throughout the year, we're able to send them gifts. So, maybe a month from now, probably broke their screen protector. Hell, I broke my screen protector and I had it for a month. So, I'm going to send out some screen protectors, and that stuff like that works. Like we've started selling a lot more aggressively, and, just following up and having our customer service be on point over the last couple weeks since COVID started. Obviously sales backscaled a little bit, and we've gotten repeat orders. I have a woman who contacted me. She bought a phone for me on Facebook Marketplace, actually. And then she liked the phone. When she got the phone, she said, I love it. Now she wants to get an iPhone 11 for her son. Another young lady bought an iPhone 8 from me, and she hit me up and she's like, hey, I need another one for my grandmother. And, it's just about messaging after a few days. After I check the tracking, I know that it got there because I put signature delivery. That's how you deal with scammers. And I know she got it safely. I hit her up. I said, hey, I see you got the phone. Is everything good? That's my number one question, because that's how you create a raving fan, right? If you follow up with a customer and you ask the customer, hey, is everything good? Did you get your package safely? Is it working fine? Let me know. That's how you get a raving fan. I had a customer go through the same thing on Swappa. I'm I'm all over the place, Chris. I like to just kind of go into my tangents. I sold a phone on Swappa. The customer got the phone. They said the phone had an issue. Now, the old me would say, screw you, you broke it. But the me who's been in the business and done, last year I did over $500,000 in sales. I kind of know a little bit about how to deal with people in those situations. So my response is simple. Hey, no problem. I'm sorry you're having issues with the phone. I don't even discuss a refund. The first thing I say is, would you like a replacement? And most people will say yes, because I'm not trying to give out no refunds. I'll give you a replacement. So what's wrong with the phone? Oh, the speaker's not working. I know that's BS because I tested it. Anyway, customer sends the phone back. The phone works fine. So I send them out another phone, exact same color and condition. And then the customer complains about this phone. They're like, oh, the phone's locked. I'm like, locked? You're a Metro PCS customer. They're like, oh, I just wanted to make sure the phone was good. Now, typically I would say something like, what do you mean? The phone, like the phone's unlocked, and get into an argument. I just, repeated the information that I knew. Hey, you're with Metro. You're using Metro, right? And they're, so then they ask, oh, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't reported or anything. I'm a trusted seller on Swappa. So I just joked around and I said, everything you get from me is Gucci. That was my response. Gosh. I'm very personable with my customers. And that's how I get repeat business. I'm very friendly. I'm authentic. I'm myself. I don't sound like a robot. I have a couple canned responses, but even then you can see my New York flavor in there, And so just be yourself. That's the best advice that I can have on how to get repeat customers. Unless yourself is kind of like the old me and you just like to say screw you to customers, don't do that.
So this goes both ways too, guys. Like whenever you're buying and whenever you're selling, like you need to be a good customer on both, or you need to be a good business owner on both sides, right? So for example, Feldon earlier was talking about how he writes down the eBay information from these people that buy his items, right? So he can grab that repeat business again, especially with the good ones. Am I right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, you got guys who are buying like Sometimes they'll pay really good for cracked phones. Sometimes you'll have the ones who are buying your bad ESN phones for good prices. And then you'll also have the customers who just want to get a nice condition pre-owned device. Those are my favorite because you're going to buy something around every holiday, every quarter.
What I want you guys, a lot of people don't do this. A lot of phone flippers don't do this, especially local ones that are, I mean, I guess you don't have to, but if you want to and you want to expand your business, this is something that I did for my bill of sale. This is David Kosciuszko's bill of sale, right? It's been altered a little bit though. Okay, so as you can see right here, I actually have a place where they put their email and their phone number. And then I also add in down here, like, how did you hear about us? It's got Facebook, Instagram, other, apps or whatever, or a friend. So this right here, guys, is data, right? You want to know where your customers are coming from. You want their phone number, and then you also want their email. Why do you want that information? Well, if you're on Facebook ads, then you can just retarget the crap out of them, right? And the people that are just like them. So, but also grabbing all of that information, guys, like, it also helps you be a really good, really good with repeat business. And also when it comes to getting repeat business in the first place, if you're buying items, you need to be giving world-class customer service. World-class. Why? What does that even mean, right? So sometimes that means taking a hit for a repeat customer. I'm sure you can agree with that, Feldon.
Yeah.
I will take a loss to keep a repeat customer. There's one girl that sells me an 11 Pro Max like every 3 or 4 months. Last time, I took a hit. I took a little bit of a hit, and that was okay. Because guess what? I'm probably gonna get another one in 3 months. But you got to keep up a good reputation in your area. Here's a little story about a lady who I bought a couple of phones from. She's a big Android user. She's always into the notes, right? Like the Note 9 and stuff like that. Anyway, I always give out my business card, right? I always give them my phone number and make sure that they, can get a hold of me whenever they got another phone. So I guess this lady lost everything. Business card, you name it. And she actually posted in a Facebook group in my area. And the post was literally, "Hey, I'm looking for the guy in Beaumont, Texas that buys phones." And somebody commented my name. That's another thing. You need to be known in your area under your real name, right? Somebody commented my name and I'm like, "Oh, hey, I know her." And but believe it or not, there was actually other people that had been commented about, like other people that buy phones in the area. And then she said, "No, that's him. I'm going with him." Right? Like that, you got to give, you almost got to be a friend to these people. It can't just be a business transaction. If you want to keep somebody and you want to keep them for a long time as a customer, you really got to like shine. Like you got to become, one of their good friends. Now, I'm not saying like you're hanging out with them every weekend at the bar or something, like, but you really just have to make an impression. Compliment their necklace, compliment a ring. I'll tell you something, guys. Whenever you compliment something on somebody, that instantly puts like I don't even know how to say it. It makes you seem like you're in like a different light, if that makes any sense. Because nobody does that anymore, right? Nobody compliments people anymore. But when you do that, it changes people's perspective about you, and they're more than likely going to do business with you again. Also, remembering their first name. If you can remember somebody's first name, because the sweetest thing to somebody is their name. That's the sweetest sound to their ears. So if you can remember their first name, the likelihood that somebody's going to sell to you again is extremely high. Okay. And these are all just little tiny things, guys. I learned a lot of this stuff from How to Win Friends and Influence People, Think and Grow Rich, books like that are literally life-changing books whenever you read them and you dive into the power of those books. Can you agree with any of this, Feldon? Like,
I agree with the 100. Like, you have to tell people, like, you have to say people's names to them. I love hearing my name. One of the biggest pet peeves that I have is that a lot of people see me and they'll be like, "What's up, Felton?" Like, that's not my name. My name's in the email. My name's on my profile. My name's not Felton. Yeah. So I love hearing my name. I love when people can actually say it properly. And it's especially important for someone who commonly has their name pronounced incorrectly.
Yeah.
People who have their names pronounced incorrectly appreciate it so much more.
Absolutely. And I mean, I totally agree. I mean, I remember one time I had a customer come into Starbucks and she gave me her driver's license, right, for the bill of sale. I looked at it. I thought about it for a second. And then I said her name correctly. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you actually said that correctly." And I'm like, "Did I? I didn't really know. I just looked at it for a second, put all the, I put all my stuff together and then just said it. I didn't know if I actually said it correctly." But no, you should, like, the light in her eyes, whenever somebody says your name right, you just see them differently. Now, whenever somebody calls you Felton, what do you immediately think about them?
I don't even want to talk to that idiot. I hate it.
So, all right. So I want to make sure that that we're actually giving some good value here. If you guys are getting value out of this live, definitely type value in the comments below, or just give us a whole bunch of likes and hearts. That way we know what's going on. That way we can actually track our progress here, and we aren't just rambling on. We got one like. There we go. Dropping jewels.
Value.
Sweet. Good stuff. Fantastic. Oh, Alex is going hardcore. Chris Castillo hit it on the head. Builds affinity. Yeah, it builds an affinity towards you. Absolutely. That's a perfect word for it. People are so much more likely to come back to you, and that's the affinity, right? All right, we got a good amount of people. This is good stuff. All right, let's see. We did have some questions. Let's see. Somebody asked, what is a good Facebook ad budget to start? Unfortunately, that's not the topic of this one. I will answer that in the comments after the live, though, to help you out there. But that's not exactly what this live is about. So if you guys have any questions when it comes to getting repeat customers, definitely just drop them in the comments below. One thing I want you guys to know about asking questions is if you have a question on your mind and you're scared to ask it, the odds are that there's about 5 other people on the chat that have the exact same question.
Yep.
And if you're the one that asks it, it helps everybody else. Okay. And you're actually helping a lot of other people learn something new. Okay. So back on repeat business, I know, Feldon, you talk about, especially in the repair industry.
Yes.
Customer service is literally everything, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a couple examples too.
Yeah, give me some examples. Absolutely.
So I had a guy who wanted to get his phone repaired. He needed a back glass repair, actually. And as many of you know, those are extremely difficult. They're very time consuming and they're hard. He said that he needed to get it swapped into Apple, and I didn't have my laser calibrated properly, so I burned a little bit off one of the sides. And so I sent it back to him, and I'm like, "Hey man, like, what do you want to, because he sent me a message, he let me know about it. I'm like, okay, so what do you want to do? Like, I'm willing to swap it out, give you another device." And he's just like, "Nah, man, it's no big deal. I just wanted to see what you would say." And it's interesting because sometimes people are just like that. He's like, I'll get it through, no worries. And it's like, you're gonna make mistakes in business, and what's most important is how you handle it. Your customers are gonna want to know that if something goes wrong in the transaction or in the deal, you're going to fix it. You're going to make it right. That you're not just going to be the type of person to say, oh, well, you sent it to me like that. You know, like maybe he did. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. Who knows? Or maybe I burnt it. The world will never know. The point is, I assume that I made a mistake whenever the customer brings a complaint to my attention. I've learned never to assume that the customer is lying or bullshitting, even though sometimes they are. I always like to assume that maybe I did something wrong first, because a lot of the times people don't want you to blame them for anything, and a lot of time people will just want to see what you say. Like that you'll own the mistake and they'll feel better about it and they'll let it go.
Huh. Yeah, it's always better to own the mistake. That is for sure. I know with a couple of eBay items that I sold sometimes, if somebody says there's an issue, all right, send it back. No problem. I'll refund you immediately. That's fine with me. I sold a PlayStation 4 not too long ago, and I bought it for $20. And this is something you guys need to remember. If you buy something for cheap and a customer on eBay or whatever has an issue with it, do not argue with them. You bought it for $20.
Word.
Like, just lose the $20. It's better than losing your reputation on eBay. Like, who gives a crap? Like, I have 100% and I have eBay concierge and everything, right? And it took a lot to get to that. It's very important to be on top of eBay, because once you get to that point, you don't get scams anymore, right? Especially if your description is on point.
Yep.
Like, in my description, I say every item that's worth over $200 is videotaped going, getting shipped. That's not true, but it looks good. We actually got some questions coming in. Michael says, I also share a little bit about myself and allow customers to watch me repair their phones from a distance. That's actually pretty cool. Luke says, do you guys currently feel a little unsafe when people are approaching with a mask on? I feel more safe when they approach with a mask on. I don't know about Feldon, but I don't really have an issue with it. Michael says, right, assume fault if it makes sense and make it right, no charge. Uriel says, to be on the lookout, what are some ways one can get scammed? Gosh, we can go into that probably at a different time. I know Feldon is the scam king over here. He's good at fighting them. Scam king. Wallace Ortiz says $20 PS4 sheesh. Well, it was broken. So Chris Castillo says make that back the next deal. Exactly. Just keep flipping. Like, just keep flipping it. Apparently Chris Castillo uses my template. I think a lot of people use my ad. People are stealing my ads now. Ever since everybody learned about the Facebook ads marketplace, my ads have been, because they're the only ones up, right? Scott says, I'm currently reading a book you referenced, How to Win Friends and Influence Enemies. What? How to Win Friends and Influence. I hope you mean How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a fantastic book. I think really get back to the basics on how to talk with people is extremely beneficial. What would your top 3 books be on building quality relationships with people? Of course, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I'd read that 10 times over. That is such a good book. What else do I have? Think and Grow Rich is actually a really good book whenever it comes to talking to people. That's a really good one. And then also, there's Exceeding Customer Expectations, Bringing Out the Best in People. And, there was a really good one written by the owner of a clothing line. It was called Hug Your Customers. And that was a good book, really good book. And that's really where my customer service came from. I never really argue with people anymore. I just want to understand, where they're coming from at first, and do the best I can. Okay. Douglas says, y'all may have discussed this already. Do you follow up with every closed and met customer sometime in the future? Absolutely. Grab their phone number and email. Follow up with them every time. Send them email broadcasts every now and then. Let them know what you're buying.
On the email. Oh my God. Some of you probably got my email.
Yeah. Some of you probably get my emails all the time. That's because I'm following up with you. I want you back in my group. Get in my group. Comment. Brings up the engagement and I get more people in it. No, but yeah, the best way to I'm actually going through a course right now, and they said the absolute most important thing is lead generation, right? And then following up. Those are the most important things in every single business. Getting the leads and then never letting them go.
Mine.
Do you agree with that, Feldon?
Of course. Hit them with the scorpion chain, Mortal Kombat. Yeah,
exactly. You never want to let a customer go, because I made a post the other day, right? And it had something to do with marketing. Let me actually pull it up real fast. Let me share my screen real fast. Hope everybody, there's some more of my mentors, Landon and Stewart. Let's see. I want to show you guys this post that I made because it's so true. And it has a little bit to do with marketing, but it also has a lot to do with repeat business, right? So we're going to scroll down here a little bit. Hang on, that looks good. Okay, here it is. It was the tee-up post for Feldon. In today's landscape, it's not only about getting attention anymore. It's about keeping the attention. This may sound a bit harsh, but the truth is your business will die. And if you don't keep the attention of your leads and potential customers, period. Getting attention is one thing, keeping it is different, right? Then here I kind of went into this right here. So a couple of years ago, and even whenever I started in this business, there wasn't a ton of competition, right? Now people have the ability to shop around for better buyers, right? Everybody, sometimes people will message you and then they'll get, your offer, right? And then they'll be like, all right, well, I was just looking around for the highest price. A couple of years ago, that didn't happen, right? You need to find a way to stand out in your business and get attention, okay? So one way to do that is offer breathtaking customer service. I don't know many people who will actually mail their phones in to get them repaired, because that's never something that even occurred to me, but Feldon gets it all the time.
All the time.
Like, that's insane to me. Like, I've never done that. Of course, I just sell them usually broken, but like, think about that a little bit. Somebody's going to mail Feldon a phone. He's going to fix it for them, and then he's going to mail it back. Like, there's a lot that goes into that. You got to pack it up. You got to go to the post office, and then you got to pay for it to get done, and then he's going to mail it back to you. Like, there's not instant gratification in that. So he's obviously offering world-class customer service for people to actually mail their phones to him. And how many customers do you have that do that, Feldon?
Right now, I would say, so I've only really been going hard with promoting repairs for like 3 weeks. So probably 5 or 6.
5 or 6 just consistent customers?
Consistent customers. I get some that come in here and there, like new business, but solid repeat. They keep coming back, about 5 or 6. And
generating that
keep growing from there.
And how many phones do they usually send you? I know you usually do like bulk orders.
Usually, it's a minimum 2.
Okay.
I have a direct buyer that I'm working out a deal with right now, so hope that goes through. Yeah, and so the volume it really depends on the client. Um, the most that I've ever gotten was probably like 5 in one day from multiple different people, and it's work because a lot of these guys are resellers. So the quality has to be really on point.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Can totally relate. That's for sure. So I want you guys to think, when was the last time that you guys received exceptional customer service? And I want you to type in the comments below, what company did that for you? I don't even care if they don't know what company it was, or if we don't know what company it was. I just want you to type what company gave you the best customer service ever that you've ever seen before. I'll give them a second to do that. And then, of course, I want you to start emulating that type of customer service, right? It's wild. Some of the best customer service that I've ever received? Oh my gosh, Feldon. If you guys have ever been on a cruise ship, the customer service on those places is out of this world. Like, people bend over backwards for people on stuff like that. That always kind of reminds me of what I should be doing for my customers. Oh yeah, Wallace hit the nail on the head. Oh, we got another one. Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
I am so upset that Chick-fil-A is closed right now where I live. But yeah, Chick-fil-A is Luke says my kid's dentist. That's really good. And I'm sure everyone would refer Chick-fil-A, right? That's how these customers get around, or that's how these customers hear about these places, right? In all seriousness, resort in Mexico. Yeah, I mean, I went to Cabo San Lucas one time, and the customer service is freaking wild. It's out of this world. It really is. But whenever you get customer service, the next time you guys do, I want you to almost study it. Like, study that type of customer service. Some of these people may be employees, but that doesn't matter, right? Because it's obviously a top-down structure, right? These business owners are expecting a certain type of care for their customers. So definitely look at how these people are treating their customers and try to emulate it, right? Royal Tie, I don't know what that is. Is that a clothing store? Sounds
like it. Royal Tie.
Yeah. It sounds like kind of like a Men's Warehouse, which also has exceptional customer service.
Yes.
Trying to figure out what else we can go over. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. We got what time is it?
Someone asked, do you get most of your inventory from suppliers or local people selling items?
I'll let you answer that one first, Feldon.
Me, so I source my inventory from wholesalers that I've networked with, either on eBay or other websites, resellers. I don't really do local buying and selling anymore because the point that I've scaled my business to, it's not really worth the time. I get leads from advertisers. I have a nice presence on Google. So if you just Google my company name, I'll show up probably like 10 times. So a lot of people will Google me and find me that way. I sell on multiple platforms, so people will contact me directly through my listings because I put my phone number in my posts. So I get a lot of business like that as well, believe it or not. And this is how I find buyers and sellers. I just put myself out there. Like Chris said, I'm very loud, and because I make so much noise, I'm very easy to find. Who buys phones? That guy was
he never shuts up,
He never shuts up. And so as a result of it, you know, so it's funny because somebody asked me this the other day, Mike. I don't know if Mike is in this group or if he's in this chat. He said, Feldon, you know, I'm new in the business and I want to network with people. I'm like, the first thing that you have to do in order to, you know, get more attention is be active, number one, and provide value. And rather, if it's a reseller or if it's a customer, I'm always giving value. You'd be surprised. A lot of these big companies, I know companies doing over $1 million a year in this industry, and these people come to me and ask me questions. And one rule that I have is like, even if I'm not making as much money than you, I'm gonna make sure that I know something that you know, because there's gonna be a point in time where you have a question that only I can answer, and that's how we're gonna make that connection. And the minute that we get connected, we have a reason to speak now, because I'm able to add value to the relationship. And I made a post about this earlier too.
Yep, sure did.
I made a post about this earlier, and it's one of the biggest things about me is I never really have to work hard to look for customers anymore, because I already have so much to give and I give so much. People end up looking for me. And this is true in any business. You want people to be looking for you. Like Chris said earlier, he's that guy in Beaumont, Texas that buys phones. Even if people don't remember his name, they know what he does. And people know what I do. I buy, sell, and I fix phones. So, you know, I that's how I get leads, because people know that about me. So whenever somebody's looking to sell a cracked device, they think of Feldon, because they know that I fix them. So they're obviously I'm going to pay the most for a cracked phone. And that's pretty much it on that point.
Chris Castillo actually just said something. Getting attention is key. It absolutely is. And so I'm actually going through a very, very expensive course right now. And something that's taught in it is called the 5-minute handshake. And actually, Feldon, I think you do this without even realizing it. Okay. So it is the art of going through your newsfeed, right, and trying to comment or you know, make a reaction on every single post that you see, right? And then jumping into your stories and sending people the messages through the stories, right? And this is called the 5-minute handshake, and it's a virtual handshake, right? Saying happy birthday to people, doing different things, because I want you guys to understand that when you're on Facebook and you make a post and you don't post regularly, you don't get seen nearly as much. It's just like, you know, when you post ads in the marketplace, if, you know, that's why you have to consistently post ads in the marketplace, because if you don't, you're not going to get seen, right? Now, what Feldon does is he comments on a lot of things, like a lot of things, and he gets seen a lot, and he consistently posts, and every single one of his posts are something usually outrageous, typically. And it gets attention. Like, there's only two ways to get attention, really. One, you got to throw some outrageous stuff up there, or you got to provide some crazy value, right? So, and Feldon, you already do it. I see it, right? You go through, you'll be scrolling through Facebook, you'll be commenting. So I want you guys to understand, if you got 1,000 friends on Facebook, then, and you don't post very much, your posts are probably only going to about 100 people. That's how the algorithm works. Mm-hmm. Facebook does not give platforms to people who don't post regularly. Now, a lot of people know Feldon. You know, a lot of people know. I posted a status earlier, provided a lot of value. It's up to about 60 likes right now. It has the fact that I buy phones in there. I had one of the people that I worked with in the past reach out to me. Hey, do you want to buy an iPhone 8 Plus? Probably because I think she actually liked that post. So getting seen on your Facebook profile is extremely important. But I want you guys to test this. It's called the 5-minute virtual handshake. Just go through your newsfeed, comment, and leave, you know, likes and you know, actions or whatever. Because people get notified when you do that, right? And then they'll go, and it's like what is it, a endorphin hit, or what is that? What is that? I can't remember the name of it right now. There's a chemical in your brain every time you get a like on Facebook.
Dopamine?
Dopamine. Yeah, it's a dopamine hit every single time. I actually had to turn off my messenger notifications because I could feel it. Like,
Yeah.
I get so many messages every day, and it's like I can't listen to it because it's like whenever you hear that sound, it's like you want to grab it. You know? Yeah. So so the 5-minute handshake, definitely do that. You want to be shown to as many of your friends as possible. Share in your stories. People see your stories more than your posts. And Feldon, oh my gosh, when you share your stories, man. I was scrolling through some stories yesterday, and then I got to Feldon's, and it was so long. I was like, man, Feldon, come on. And then I just started clicking all the way through it. It took me like a full minute to get through the whole thing, but it gets attention, you know? So getting attention in the marketplace is something, and Feldon is extremely good at it. Everybody knows what he does. He's definitely entered the industry like a bull in a china shop. Like, I know people in the cell phone repair groups know who he is. Everybody in those groups know who you are, you know. James says Feldon is like, so, yeah.
I do be saying random stuff like that.
It does get attention though. That's for sure. So get attention in the marketplace. Keep customers' attention, right? You got to keep their attention, stay in their news feed. That's why paid ads are so important too. Like once you get a customer, you know, with paid ads and they've done business with you a few times, they've messaged back and forth, Facebook keeps on showing that ad to them like over and over and over again, even though they've sold it to you. Like, so, you know, every time my ads are running, I get so many like people who have already sold to me hitting me up again just because of they're seeing the ad again, right? So that's stay active in the marketplace. What was it? There was an ad that one time there was like a phone in a cup of water or something. Do you remember that photo?
That was mine, I think.
Was that your photo?
I had a phone in a cup of water with a banana and a laptop. And it was called the Hello Banana because the banana had hello written on it.
I really need to start making ads like that.
It was so like the ad.
Yeah, but how much attention did it get?
I remember it blew up pretty big.
It went like viral.
Ad like it, and it didn't do as well. But that original ad did good.
Yeah.
Hello Banana.
All right, so I'm waiting on some questions. Who's got some questions? Got quite a few people on here.
I'm gonna make a video ad of me like throwing a phone at a wall.
You already did that
on TikTok. I did that on TikTok.
You shared it to Facebook.
Did I?
Broke an iPhone X. I was like, what the hell? Like,
I'm gonna make it a paid ad and see how it does.
Do it. I'd love to see it. That's freaking great. Because whenever I saw that, I was just like, what? Do that. Like I think I watched that video 3 or 4 times because I was like so fascinated by it. You know how you watch those
I think it got like 400 views on TikTok and I didn't even use any hashtags.
Jeez. Remember when everybody was laughing at me about using TikTok for marketing?
TikTok is fire, man.
And now
I'm waiting on them to approve my advertising account. I'm gonna try paid ads on there. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I tried Snapchat. Snapchat is I didn't really like Snap ads. I just
what were the leads like?
I mean, the leads are weird. So I had a couple weird leads. It was mostly kids. One guy's his email was like poopoo@gmail.com. There's just a whole bunch of weird people signing up, not really real customers, just kids playing games. Even when I put the targeting on, it's like they lie about their age when they make their accounts. So paid ads on there is tough.
Gotcha. So it looks like we got some questions. Renee says, when are the Apple stores open? Only 4 small Apple stores are open across the U.S. I have no idea.
Me neither, to be honest. I haven't really been worrying much about Apple Store because my business doesn't. Once I heard about COVID, I changed my model completely. I was doing a lot of trade-ins and I was doing gift cards. And once it shut down, I sold off all my inventory and I said, I'm done. I'm done with the Apple Store. Changed my model completely. So when it opens up, great. We'll all go back to buying gift cards and doing trade-ins. But in the meantime, you gotta adapt and do something else.
Jordan says, how much are you spending on paid ads a month? So that varies. For me, it's $20 to $40 a day. Because that's an easy enough number to make back, right? That's 1 phone a day, easily. But I don't even recommend running paid advertising if you're not doing 5,000 in sales a month. That's actually a requirement for my paid ad service now. And it's actually about to go up to 10,000 a month because I'm not going to deal with things.
I think it's also important to note like the reasoning behind that. It's like you don't want to try. I was talking to my buddy about this the other day. You don't want to scale a losing strategy. So like if I'm only doing 2,000 a month in sales and one of my competitors is doing 20,000 a month in sales, I'm doing something wrong. So if I start spending money on advertising, I'm only scaling a losing strategy already. You know what I mean? And let's say, for example, my customer is not even using ads. It's me and another flipper. He's doing 20,000 a month in sales. I'm doing 2,000 a month in sales. Chris has been doing this a while. I've been doing this a while. We know what the average flipper can do. And that number is around 5,000 to 10,000 a month, no paid advertising. So if you can't do that, there's some tweaks that you need to do to the current way that you do things before you start running paid ads. Otherwise, you're just going to waste money. You're going to say it doesn't work. And it's really you who's just not working it right.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. I'm actually switching my model to accepting people who are only doing over 10,000. That's going to be switching within the month or so. Because the fact is, guys, when it comes to paid advertising, if you're going to hire somebody to do it, you got to be able to negotiate. Like that's the number one thing. And you got to be able to follow up. Oh my gosh, phone flippers are the worst about following up. Oh my. And that's customer service, guys. That's repeat business. Grant Cardone, what does he say? The money is in the follow-up, right? Something that I highly recommend. You got to be able to negotiate. Like that's the number one thing. And you got to be able to follow up. You turn that off. Oh my gosh, phone flippers.
Sorry.
No, you got to be able to negotiate, and you got to be able to follow up. Following up is so important, and so many phone flippers just don't do it at all, and it's killing their business, right? There's some people that I've followed up with for 5, 6, 7 days straight. Like, hey, you still looking to sell this phone? Hey, I'm out buying phones today. Hey, I'm out in town today. You still looking to sell that phone? I'm serious. I got messages like that, line freaking up. And then one day they'll just reply, hey, you in town? Like just randomly, right?
So true.
It happens. That's exactly what happens. Ricky Burton says, how much did you gross last year in profit? Me personally, gross, like 100,000, 120,000 in profit. That's gross. Net is more like 70, 80 after eBay and PayPal and everything. Jordan says, I'm hitting 10 to 12 a month in sales, but in LA, a real competitive market. I mean, just about everywhere is competitive now. So there's not really somewhere where you can go where there's not a competitor. Willie says, teach me. Chris says, follow up and upsell. Yep. Following up and upselling is, I don't know if you guys know, but David Kosciuszko is huge on upselling. That's how he built his entire business. Having that question, what else are you looking to sell? Do you have any other electronics? Guys, that has made me more money than just buying one phone. Like, I remember one time I bought a phone from somebody. Well, I was going to buy a phone from somebody, and then I was like, hey, do you got any more electronics you're looking to sell? He had a camera. He had 3 computers that didn't power on. 2 of them were MacBooks, and he sold them to me for like 20 or 30 bucks a piece because they didn't turn on. And I sold one of them for like $350 roughly. So like I made more on that deal than I did the phone. So follow up.
Mm-hmm.
What do you recommend saying for the follow up? Hey, are you still looking to sell this item?
Yep.
Hey, I'm out in town today. You still looking to sell that phone? Hey, what's up? Hey, you want me to buy your phone? Like, just annoy the crap out of them. Like, they're eventually going to say something. But, you know, it may seem annoying, but it's good business, right? You keep on checking in on that person, right? And eventually they're going to have something to sell, right? So that's what you need to just be aware of. You just need to keep following up, especially if it's a good lead, guys. Look, Facebook, the Facebook Pages app has oh gosh, hold on, my son is losing it. Hey, Feldon, I'm gonna let you talk for a second.
All right, sure thing. Talk to me, guys. What's your questions? While we wait on Chris to come back real quick. Hey, what's up, David? I see you. How much are you spending on paid ads a month? Me, like I mentioned earlier, I personally don't really run paid ads much. I just started a Google campaign for repair customers, and I'm getting some leads from that. I have a VA who I'm paying a couple bucks a week to run some ads for me on Craigslist. And I also started a paid Facebook ads campaign for repair leads as well. So I think probably by the end of this month, I'm going to spend anywhere from $300 to $500 on paid ads. I expect to double that at least in like return on investment, just because I just started doing it for repairs. I'm not really sure how it's going to turn out yet. So far, from the 50 that I've spent, I've already made a little over $100 in profit, not deducting the fees, the ad spend. So probably about $50 in profit after ad costs. So every $50, every $50 in ad spend, I expect to make $100.
There you go. It's all about turning $1 into $2.
Exactly.
That's all it is. If you can turn $1 in advertising budget into $2, then you're making money. That is a winning business model. Everybody in the industry wants to make these 40 and 50% profits, right? Sometimes that's not going to happen. Sometimes you just need to be worrying about turning $1 into $2. Do you realize how much grocery stores make whenever they sell their products? Take a loaf of bread, for instance. Like they're only making maybe $1, if that, right? They got to sell a lot of items, you know, because their supplier has to get paid. Then they have to, you know, sell it for a little bit more so that they can profit too, right? So big businesses usually are big because of low profit margins. Am I right?
I agree with that. It's like
I mean, even in the wholesaling industry, how much were you making per phone when you were selling?
Bro, like $5.
I couldn't even imagine that, man. But it was a winning business model, right?
Jordan, yeah, definitely.
I mean, as long as you're turning $1 into $2, you're doing fine. So somebody asked here a minute ago, what did they say? How do you keep Messenger organized? So, I mean, In your personal messenger, it's going to be all over the place. There's not really a whole lot you can do about that. It's delete ones you don't want. But in the Facebook Pages messenger, that's different. You can actually add tags and mark people as follow up. You name it. You can actually filter people in the Facebook page messenger. There's a little sidebar on the side. I'm not really going to go into that because it's pretty easy to find. Not going to lie. If you log into and go to your Facebook page and go to your inbox, you can see it. It's pretty easy. Where did you find your VAs for Craigslist ads? Feldon, that's for you.
So you guys know me. I'm loud. They found me. I cannot even tell you. I get a message every day, and this is how you know you're dealing with a Craigslist VA. Their opening message will be, "Hello, bro," and it'll be "Hello, bro," and it's usually, I'm not saying nothing. It'll usually be somebody from like Bangladesh or overseas, because that's the hustle over there. Either Bangladesh or the Philippines. So, and the message is either going to be, "Hello, bro," or "Do you need Craigslist posting service?" They're not scammers. Most of them probably are not trying to scam you. They want to get money to feed their family.
Yep, they just want money.
They're good at their jobs too. So what I like to do, I guess a better question would be, when they do find you, how do you vet them, right? So I like to do a test. I say, I'll give you $5 and you give me 5 posts. I did this with a guy recently, and like the ad that he gave me was freaking amazing. It's been #1 in my area for 3 days. It says that I do the best back glass repair service in New York City, and it's just been #1. Like $3 I paid. Dude did 3 ads for me. He posted a whole bunch. If you guys are not using VAs for Craigslist, like I don't care if you haven't made your first dollar in this business, you can get them done for so cheap. It's not even funny. Like 1 ad you can get for $1. It's worth every penny.
Absolutely. So Douglas had a question. Said, do you all use a personal Facebook page for any ad posting or just business page? I use both. Of course, the business page is more for paid advertising, but you can actually use it to post in groups. You can share. You can use your personal profile and share in buy and sell groups. You can do stuff like that. There's multiple ways you can, and even the Facebook business pages now have stories connected to them. So that's a really good thing to take advantage of, because a lot of people go through those stories, guys, like a lot. Wallace says Nigeria. Yeah, it's probably for VAs. WhatsApp. Thanks for the tip. I'm going to try that. What's a VA? Yeah, it's a virtual assistant. They basically do everything from overseas. Big in the marketing area. Whenever it comes to digital marketing, VAs are kind of essential, and eventually a lot of my marketing will be done by VAs, just to make everything easier on me, right? So, all right, guys, we got about 4 minutes left. So if you guys got any more questions, go ahead and drop them below. We are here to answer your questions. I hope you guys have received value. If you have, just type value below, just value. And give us a lot of likes and hearts. We like those. Those look good. I like when I see them float across the screen. But yeah, I think this is pretty good live. I don't know. I try to bring the best.
Did a great job putting this together.
Value. Chris Castillo says value. Yeah. Renee says value.
Value.
Yeah, we're getting likes and hearts.
That's value.
Yeah. Wallace is actually using paid ads right now. He's getting some fantastic leads using a new method that I tried. At least I hope he's still getting good leads.
Let's get it. Yeah, Wallace is the man. He pays really good for carrier locked phones.
Dopamine shot to you guys. Heck yeah. I love dopamine shots. Awesome. All right, cool. Well, I guess we provided enough value, Feldon. Sweet. So yeah, and if you guys have any more questions, we got a couple more. We got 3 more minutes, and then we will be hopping off and going back to our lives. Wallace says, "Yes, sir." So I don't know if I told you yet, Feldon, but I found a way to kind of force Facebook to find the right leads for Facebook ads.
Ooh.
The only thing is you got to pay for them. That's the only issue with it. Like, to weed out the junky leads, you got to pay for it. Like, but it's you're not getting those crappy phones. And I've kind of come to realize with pay Facebook ads, when it comes to phone flipping, you get what you pay for.
Mm-hmm.
If you're getting 60-cent leads or dollar leads, you're getting trash most of the time. And people complain about that.
One thing I'm noticing, like on Google and all the platforms that I'm advertising on right now, the average cost per lead for quality leads is $3 to $4. No matter where I'm advertising. That's on Google, that's on Facebook, and other platforms as well. It's $3 to $4 that you got to spend. And as long as you know how to speak to these people, you'll get the business.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. So are you targeting newer phones? Is that what's going on there?
So I'm specifically doing repairs, and I haven't used any targeting, but even still, I'm noticing my average cost per lead is around $3 to $4 a message. But because I'm doing repairs and I have in my ad copy specifically iPhones, everybody that messages me is pretty much a qualified lead unless they have like an iPhone 4, iPhone 5S, which is rare in my area. Most people have at least an iPhone 6. And, an iPhone 6 repair costs me $10 and I do it for $60. So make a good amount of money from that. Exactly. Profit. So the goal is every 2-3 days to close one lead. And I don't really care about making money on the front end. If I can break even acquiring my customer, it's over. Because once I secure that lead, who do you think they're going to call next time they need a screen repair?
This is what I'm talking about, guys. Sometimes you got to break even or even lose money to gain a lead in the long run, to gain that repeat customer. That's going to bring you. I'll leave you guys with this one last thing. So it's what is it? LTV, lifetime value of a customer, and then client acquisition cost. Okay. So for example, client acquisition cost. Say it costs you $20, just an arbitrary number, $20 to acquire a lead for your business, right? Now, it only costs $20 to get them to know you. Now the LTV, the lifetime value of that customer, say every time they need a screen repaired, it's $50. You only spent $20 to get that lead. This is why repeat business is so important, because every time after you spent that $20, it's free. It's free.
Exactly.
And they bring you more people.
Everything.
So client acquisition cost, and then lifetime value of a customer. That's what you want. You want the lifetime value of a customer. Just get the leads and then keep them. That's all you got to do. Just world-class customer service. And just, that's really all you got to do. But that's about it for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I hope this was good. I'll be answering a lot of the questions in the comments, probably with some videos, because I don't like writing these out anymore because there's a lot of comments. So I will be doing that in the comments right after this live, and I'll also send out a replay for those that need it. Okay.
Hey.
What'd you say, Feldon?
I just said, hey.
All right, guys, we're out for the night. See you guys later. Bye. Thanks, Feldon.